Greetings to all of your leading listeners out there. Keith L. Brown, known nationally and internationally as Mr. I'm Possible. It's not impossible, it's I'm Possible. Also known as Uncle Keith. And I am the lead coach and trainer at the I'm Possible Institute. I am the lead facilitator and principal speaker at 2020 Enterprises. And we have flagship programs such as the PEP Rally, which stands for Pupils, Educators, and Parents. We also have our flagship program entitled Fathers, not Father, F-A-T-H-E-R-S, not F-A-R-T-H-E-R. But at the end of the day, I'm all about raising our promising princes and princesses, our Black children. I teach all children. I inspire all children, but my heart's core are the underserved. And many times that is our Black babies. So we're talking about Black brilliance, unapologetic Black brilliance, Black excellence, and raising them to be kings and queens and not the negative stereotypes that we often hear in society. So I'm thankful for you and your advocacy, as well as Black Education Station.
Absolutely, Keith. I am so excited to have you here. Just a little backstory. I met Keith at an educational conference almost 3 years ago, I think, down in Savannah. And just his energy and just his presence, like he walked right up to me and started talking. I'm like, oh, I was taken aback a little bit. But ever since then, you know, I have loved just all of our interactions. And, you know, anytime I see you, I know you're going to have a bunch of C words for me to go with my name. And it's going to be positive and uplifting. And I love it.
Absolutely.
So Keith, just to get into our conversation, tell me, I know you have a son. Tell me about your, how you came into fatherhood, about your children and things like that.
So Keon is doing an excellent job, but listen, I am honored. I'm honored to be his father. And his mother has done a great job as well. My lovely wife, Dr. Wakia Brown, who's a principal here in the Metro Atlanta area at an elementary school. She's also a child and youth advocate. And so we are a family that promotes elevating and enriching and enhancing the life of not only our beautiful Black son, but beautiful Black children and youth everywhere. So we are parents to a lot of surrogate children and youth as well. And at the end of the day, it's all about building legacy for our children, nurturing them, loving them, giving them high expectations. And that's what our Black brilliant children and youth deserve. We need to normalize high expectations in the Black community. Did you hear what I said? We need to normalize high expectations in the Black community. Gone are the days where we hear a Black young male, okay, being able to articulate effectively, and we're shocked by that. Those days should be over. We need to normalize Black brilliance, Black excellence, and we need to definitely put those seeds of hope and brilliance into our beautiful Black children and young people.
Yes, I love that, Keith. I love to say that it should be the expectation, you know, that our children are well-spoken, not the exception. Right? Not that it's like, oh, wow, you're so well-spoken. That should not be a thing. So I completely agree with that. One of the big things that I am excited about with having you here is that you are able to give us kind of a national perspective on children in school, our Black children, and how some of the challenges that they have in school and just some advice that you can give to their parents. So tell me, you know, as you travel around and you're speaking with youth across the country, what are some of the biggest challenges that you're finding our Black children are having in schools?
One of the greatest challenges they're having is a lack of access and exposure. I do believe that when our children have access and exposure like they do in other communities and other school districts, then our children can compete with anyone. They will be able to excel. So first of all, that's why it's so important to vote. That's why it's so important. People always ask, why is it important to be a part of the political process? It's important because you elect your school board members, okay? Yeah. That's very important. So a lot of times those policies that will be in place that will impact the lives of Black children, a lot of those policies will come from those who we put in office. So that's number one. Number two, I'm calling on our parents. I'm calling on our parents to understand this. And I love you, purposeful parents. So listen very carefully. If we can pack the stadiums to watch our children play football,
Yes.
okay, then we need to be able to pack curriculum night. We need to be able to pack the PTA night as well, because a lot of times our parents are not informed if they don't show up. So you have to show up. You have to show up not just at sporting events, not just at the band recitals. You have to show up for those PTA meetings, that curriculum night, and we have to advocate for our children. The next thing I want to say is very important, is that there is a universal sense of low expectations when it comes to Black babies.
Yes.
Low expectations. No, we have to now, Candace, understand that from day one, from pre-K all the way through 12th grade, we need to have high expectations and start asking this question. Not are you going to college, but what college are you going to?
Yes.
What college are you going to? So what I'm saying today is as adults, we have our hand on the pulse, many times of how our children will turn out. And you, as well as I know this, you know this as well as I do. Many times, especially in elementary school, children will excel based on how they feel about us, how they feel about their teachers, right? How they feel about themselves. And so that's why it's so very important that we have those high expectations, and we always reflect those upon our beautiful Black children.
Yes, I love that. You said a mouthful, and I don't even know if I can recap it because I wasn't taking notes. But I know one thing that stood out to me, like what you just said, is actually, that our children learn for us and not from us. So making sure that we are the type of educators or the type of parents, even, that our children want to receive information from is super important. I love that.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that, Keith. Tell me, as a father, tell me one of the things that has changed as your son has grown older. I guess based on your perspective on fatherhood, what has changed? What's different as your son has become an adult?
Well, one of the things I will say is every 3 months when my son was growing up, I always asked him every 3 months, what type of father have I been the last 3 months? And there were times I didn't like the answer. And I had to humble myself as a father. And I'm just going to be real transparent. Back in the day, our parents didn't do that. Back in the day, we said things like, we were told things like, don't do as I do, do as I say.
Yes.
Right? And what I learned with my own son is out of fear, he will do as I say do, but out of my example, he will do as I do. Let me say that again, parents. Out of fear, your children will do as you say do, but out of your example and respect, they will do what they see. So you have to model that. So one of the things that changed, Committed Candace, is there was a time in my son's life when I was a dictator. I told him everything to do, but now he's 27 years old. I'm more of a facilitator. I'm more of that father that's a coach. So he has to make mistakes. So in different levels as parents, we're going to have to be hands-on, but then we're going to have to be hands-off so that they can learn. We always talk about the real world with our children. When you get out in the real world, no, this is their real world.
Yes.
Okay? That 5-year-old in kindergarten and that elementary school, okay?
That's their world.
Right? That's his or her real world, because guess what? Virtual learning, that second grader, they've gone through virtual learning. I want the adults who are listening tonight, the educators, the administrators, the parents, understand that adults are not the only ones who had trauma during COVID-19. Our babies have faced insurmountable trauma, being at home, isolated from their peers, isolated from their teachers, isolated from society. So we got to understand that our babies have trauma as well. But let me tell you one thing that never changed as a parent: the high expectations that we've always had for our son. We always had that. And let me say this, parents, affirm your children. Teachers, affirm the children. We do these affirmations, Candace, and I know I'm all over the place.
No, you're good.
I know we don't have a lot of time, right? But we do these affirmations, and I want to give you 8 affirmations tonight that you need to do with our children every day, even our young people, every day. These 8 affirmations, they go like this. I love myself. I believe in myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm a genius. I can, I will, I must, and I got this. Let me say that again. I love myself. I believe in myself. I'm proud of myself, and I'm a genius. I can, I will, I must, and I got this. The first thing we can do for our beautiful Black children is teach them to love themselves, to teach them how to love themselves. And every day they have to say, I love myself. And then we have to teach them to believe in themselves. Believe in yourself. And we have to believe in them. And that means that we have to continue to tell them how bright they are, how intelligent they are, how special they are. And remember this, parents, dumb and stupid are not on your children's birth certificate. Come on now. Yes. We cannot call them out of their name. So I love myself. I believe in myself. And then I'm proud of myself. So that when they do something that makes us proud, let's affirm them. Let them know. You know, Candace, one of the things I hear from even our elementary school babies, and I ask them, well, why did you act up in school today? They said, well, when I do good, nobody says anything. Only the bad kids get called out, Uncle Keith. They only focus on the bad kids. And so when I do something good, nobody says anything to me. And so what we have to do is we have to affirm and reward good behavior as well. I know people say, well, they're supposed to be good. We shouldn't reward good behavior. But no, guess what? Just like you as an adult want to be validated in your career, well, our children deserve to be validated as well. So I love myself. I believe in myself. I'm proud of myself. And then I'm a genius. I'm a genius. And our Black babies need to know that they are geniuses. And why? Because there's a gene in us. And that gene is called greatness. You know, I just see something that says, check out the Believe in Yourself music video from the Hustle Brothers. Yeah, shout out to Hustle University as well. Those are my brothers. Shout out to Hustle University as well. Yes. So yes, Candace, those affirmations. And then I can, I will, I must, I got this. I firmly believe that our children learn from repetition. So the more positive they hear about themselves, the more high expectations they will have. They will be more ambitious and they will desire to learn. So I believe that those 8 affirmations that we have, they help out a lot.
Yes, I love that. I wish I was able to kind of type those real quick in the comments, but I'm going to get them and they will be in the comment section or in the description of the video. Yes. When we close out. Keith, that is one of the big reasons I wanted you on this show is because number one, your energy, but also I know how important it is for us to encourage our children. And you are such a motivation to adults and children alike. And so again, thank you so much for being on here. You did mention, well, you read one of the comments about believing yourself from Black Education Station, which is great. Just a little tidbit about Black Education Station. I don't know if I said it at the beginning, but it is a streaming television network with educational content for children ages 0 to 10. All of the content on the network is educational. The network is 100% Black owned, and all of the content is created and showing Black people as the main character. So one of the big reasons that I love Black education so much and why I'm such a passionate spokesperson for it is that I think it's very important for our children to be able to see themselves in who they're learning from, right?
Oh, yes.
Just being able to see a mirror of themselves from the people that are learning from will enable them to learn better and enable them to be more engaged in what they're learning. So that is one of the reasons that I love Black Education Station so much. And
Candace,
I'm glad that they're here. Yes.
So before I go tonight, Candace, let me say this. One of the things I firmly believe is we need to take our children's first name and give them some positive adjectives that go with their first name, because
I love when
they're
you do
hearing
that.
they're hearing all types of negative names on television, right? And I'm talking about on cartoons. I'm talking about programs like, you remember Cartoon Network, Adult Swim. When they have all of these negative images on Adult Swim, it's supposed to be Cartoon Network. We didn't have
even on Disney, they're saying like hearing stupid and idiot and violence and all these cartoons.
Absolutely.
Right?
On the Disney Channel, right? And so when let's just say Candace, for example. When I think about Candace, the C is for creative. The A is for advocate. The N is for nurturer. The D is for determined. The I is for inspiring. The C is for committed. And the E is for excellent. Imagine
Yes.
yeah, come on now. GOODJOB. Good job. Good
Good
job.
job.
Yeah, so imagine if you took Candace, a young person in the 7th grade, and you broke her name down like that. When they hear all those negative terms, that will help to combat the negative terms that our babies hear in society. Representation matters. And unfortunately, probably 80 to 90% of the programming out there shows our young Black brilliant minds in a negative light. And so that's why we have to affirm them. That's why we have to reinforce their brilliance. We have to reinforce their excellence. And guess what? Not just in sports and entertainment. Look, listen, you know what? Because I'm traveling around the world, and right now I'm telling these young Black males, guess what? Even if you don't get an athletic scholarship, you can still go to college. So we have to widen the perspective and the scope for especially our young Black males and let them know, even if you don't play sports, you can still go to college. So at the end of the day, parents, listen to me very carefully.
Yes.
Make this your last day asking your child, what do you want to be? Don't ask them that. And you might say, why not, Mr. Impossible? Because America doesn't need any more wannabes. So you have to now say, listen, yes, Dr. Brown, Attorney Smith, right? And show them how to do the work, but plan that, plot that path. Start giving your child those positive titles, those positive images of themselves. And whatever you do in your home, make sure that you keep your children away from negative talk, away from negative thoughts, and we reaffirm each other as a family. The Black family has to reaffirm itself again. I really believe that.
Ooh, Keith, look, we can close out on that. That's heavy.
Yeah.
I love it. Listen, thank you so much. Okay, tell people, do you have any projects or anything that you're working on? Tell people where they can find you before we close out our chat.
Very good. Once again, let me say we have look, here it is right here. You see that? Yes.
We must be fathers, not fathers.
Yes, we must be fathers, not father. And so I'm working on a program where I coach fathers across the country, many times in Head Start and in school districts. Okay, so we do that working with fathers. Also, we are in so many school districts across the country promoting college and career readiness, social, emotional learning, which is very critical for our Black children. So we're doing that all over the country and all over the world. And you can find me on Instagram at Keith L. Brown _, Keith L. Brown _, Keith L. Brown _ on TikTok, Keith L. Brown _ on Facebook, Keith L. Brown 1911, and YouTube and Twitter. And then my website is keithlbrown.com. And so that's what we do. That's who we are. But at the end of the day, we believe in telling beautiful Black children to love themselves, to believe in themselves, be proud of themselves. They are geniuses when it comes to anything in life. They can, they will, they must, and they got this. And watch this. Every day, I'm young, I'm gifted, I'm Black, I'm going to graduate. I'm young, I'm gifted, I'm Black, I'm going to graduate. So Candace, as I go, last thing for the adults. Remember this, adults, whether you're a parent, an educator, education support personnel, an administrator, remember this. We motivate, we elevate, we educate, and they will graduate. When we motivate and we elevate and we educate, they will graduate. So here at 2020 Enterprises and the I'm Possible Institute, we have the nerve to serve, we feed the need to lead, and I'm honored to have been with creative Candace, advocating Avery, who has all the style. Yeah.
Hey, listen, you guys make sure you follow Keith because he dances, he hops, he's an Omega, so he's hopping on there, he's freestyling, he's doing all the things, okay? And then he also has an encouraging word for you as well. So thank you again, Keith, for joining me. Oh, if we have any educators who are watching today, Black Education Station is offering free subscriptions for teachers. So you guys make sure you hit up Black Education Station here on Instagram or on Facebook, Facebook. And there's a link in the bio to tell you how to access your free subscription. But thank you again, Keith. Thank you all for watching. And I will see you guys here again next week. Same time, same place. Bye.
Thank you. You be empowered.
Thanks, Keith.